Hi, welcome back to Pearls of Motherhood. Today's episode is a little different. We're hitting pause on our usual stories to get to know our co host, Diana. She's the one behind the thoughtful questions and the mom facts, but there's a lot more to her than that. Diana grew up first generation Chinese American in the heart of New York City in the 1980s in a one-bedroom apartment with her grandparents right next door. She was super career driven, navigating family expectations and chasing her goals, all while dreaming of her future. Along the way, she also became the first among her siblings to make a life choice that wasn't entirely conventional, marrying outside her culture. Oh my gosh, a
Yeah.
journey that came with courage, humor, and growth. And then, of course, she discovered motherhood, not the career first path she imagined, but something just as meaningful and full of surprises. So today, we'll laugh, reminisce, and hear stories about culture, resilience, New York City childhood memories, and parenting lessons, plus all the little quirks that make Diana, well, Diana. Buckle up, friends. This is a fun, heartfelt ride into getting to know our co host on a whole new level. Welcome, Diana.
Thank you, Tessie. Oh my goodness, I'm nervous.
This is going to go
No.
great. Don't worry.
Okay, I know. I'm in good hands. I'm
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. Oh,
All right. So, where should we start? Childhood snapshot, maybe. What
okay.
was it like growing up, first generation Chinese American in New York City in the 80s? It's a lot.
It is. Well, 1980s New York was very different from what it is today.
I believe it.
Although, yeah, like the whole don't walk through Central Park by yourself. You're a woman, don't walk through Central Park at night. I grew up with that because we heard the repercussions of it. And honestly, to this day, I still do not walk through Central Park at night. Even though I know it's safe, I still don't do
Yeah.
it. That's definitely
Smart.
stuck with me. I grew up in Brooklyn Heights, which is one of the honestly one of the most amazing places to grow up. I love saying that I come from New York City. I grew up with the big buildings, the hustle and bustle, and I grew up with the stinky smells. There were a lot of stinky smells. I remember that. And
Yes,
1980s,
that's true.
1980s New York was a more dangerous place. I remember driving through Times Square with my dad and my whole family, and my dad locking the doors and rolling up the windows, and him saying, "Do not make eye contact." Because you never know who you were going to look at. And it was like really tense. And so, and as opposed to Times Square today, you walk out there in the middle of the night and there's people all the time and they're all tourists and they're wonderful and happy. So it
Mhm.
was very different. It definitely felt like I was trapped between two cultures. So one that was a very traditional Chinese culture, and one that was American. So at home, I had to be, the obedient, good daughter. I had to strive for academic excellence, and the family was always first. And then being an American going to school in a public school system, I always try to belong, but I always felt like I didn't because I looked very different. No one looked like me in my neighborhoods except for the rest of my family. No one ate the foods that I did. No one dressed the way I did. My parents were, they didn't have a lot of money, so I had a lot of hand-me-downs. And when they went shopping in Chinatown. So I wore like their traditional, beautifully embroidered like Chinese jackets and stuff, but no one was wearing that in the 80s. So I definitely felt like an outcast. And at home, I didn't speak Chinese very well. So I couldn't really communicate with my grandparents that well. So it's like no one really got me, whether I was in school or whether I was back at home. So it was very in between cultures, is the best way to describe it. Like you didn't really belong anywhere.
Wow. So, can you paint a picture of your living situation? Like, 1-bedroom apartment with 4 siblings? I can't even imagine. But, like, grandparents next door? How awesome.
So I lived in an apartment. It was a one-bedroom apartment, and my grandparents were in a brownstone house next door with my aunts and uncles and my cousins. So we were a very, very close family. My apartment so there were 4 kids and 2 adults, so there's 6 people in a one-bedroom apartment, and honestly, I thought it was huge because, when you're a kid, everything looked bigger, and now when I go back
Yeah.
to it, I'm like, "How did we all fit in here?" But we did somehow. I don't know how we did it.
Your mom's a
Um,
saint, that's for sure.
my mom is a saint, and my dad
Yes.
is a magician.
Yes.
It was roach infested. I remember there were roaches everywhere.
Oh
Squishing them was just a normal part of childhood.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was not great. I didn't love that, and I'm not a bug person. I re I
No.
I remember that I was so in my house, we're traditional Chinese, so we take off our shoes at the front door, so we're barefoot in the house. And one night I got up to get a drink of water, and it's dark, and I walk out into the hallway. It was a very short hallway because, like I said, it's a one-bedroom apartment, and I'm barefoot, and I step down, and there's something fuzzy under my foot. So I
Oh god.
jumped back, and it was a roach about, I would say about 2 inches long, and that's when I discovered roaches have furry backs. I did not know that. I did
Oh
not
my
want to know that.
I'm dying knowing
I know.
that.
I
Oh
still
my
get
god.
when I think about that memory, I have, like, goosebumps up and down my spine.
Oh my god. I'm dying just thinking about it. I would
That was
die.
that was just something I grew up with, right? I mean, that's you just roll with it
Yeah,
because
when you're a kid, you don't really know any different.
yep,
That's what you
yep.
know. Yeah.
We had a lot of homeless on the streets. I know that my dad was mugged a couple times on his way to work and coming home.
Oh, jeez.
I remember that there were certain streets you don't go down. Like now in Brooklyn Heights, like everything is beautiful and wonderful and super safe. And I remember those were the neighborhoods, like these converted luxury condo apartments now were warehouses, and you don't go down those streets because you're gonna get shot. I remember
Wow.
that. So
Wow.
uh, I loved having my grandparents and my cousins and my aunts and uncles next door. That was a lot of fun. I got to see them every day, pretty much. We got to run around, at least in their house, because in a one-bedroom apartment, you can't run and you can't
No.
scream and you can't
Mhm.
jump. And when you're a kid, that's all you want to do. So I was
Mhm.
constantly being scolded by my parents to go, shh, shh, quiet, quiet, you know?
That's like
uh,
me now. With my kids.
But fortunately, we were like one of a few of the only kids in the entire apartment building. So everyone was really understanding, but there's only so much that people will understand when you're jumping around at 2 in the morning. So
Oh,
I get
yeah,
that
for
now.
sure. Yeah, as an adult.
Even if we wanted to go outside, we really couldn't because there's traffic.
Mhm.
And everything was walking distance, so I didn't grow up in a car. I My parents had a car, but we walked everywhere. So I was a s I still to this day enjoy walking around the city. But you couldn't
Mhm.
go anywhere by yourself because, like I said, you can't turn down certain streets and expect to come out in one piece.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy.
So it was definitely a mix. It was a lot of caution, and, it taught me to really control my instincts. Like when you step on a roach and it's the middle of the night, you don't scream or jump because the neighbors downstairs are gonna get real mad.
And you're gonna wake up the whole house.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so that's what it was like. It was a lot of fun. I got to see a lot of amazing things. I grew up with Broadway shows. I grew up with amazing museums, fantastic food, a multicultural community, as multicultural as we could get back then. It's not as diverse as it is now, but it was still diverse because it's still New York City. So yeah, I grew up with all that excitement, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
That sounds awesome. So
It was.
different from what I grew up, as
Yes,
everybody
yes.
knows. Very
You were
opposite.
you were a free range kid. I was very much on a leash because you're gonna get hit by a car.
Yeah, do you have any, like, funny or memorable, like, in between world moments as a kid?
I do, and this one recently, it's been something that I've been thinking about lately, and I don't know why, but it popped into my memory bank before we even started thinking about this episode. And do it's not a funny one, but it did make me pause and think. And I guess I can turn back and laugh now. But do you remember when you were a kid and it was your birthday and your parents would bring cupcakes to celebrate your birthday with your class? Do you remember
Yeah.
doing that? Yeah.
Did my parents do that? I don't even know. I don't remember. Yeah,
I'm
I remember
pretty
that happening.
well for other kids then.
Yeah.
Well, most families, they bring store-bought cupcakes or they make cupcakes, and I remember I begged my parents that I wanted some sort of cake in my classroom, for my 1st grade birthday, and so they did, but instead of getting, like, cupcakes and frosting and candy and all those things, they brought in cakes from Chinatown. So my dad actually left work to pick up these cakes from Chinatown and brought it to my school for me in the middle of the day in Brooklyn. So he left work, which is unheard of for like an first generation dad. Dads don't leave their work because they worked, but dad
Mhm.
made that exception for me.
Wow.
And instead of bringing in the cupcakes, they brought in something that's similar to, it's called ankuan in Chinese, but it's similar to like a Swiss roll. So it's like a spongy yellow cake that's like you bake in a it's really flat but really soft and spongy, and it's filled with whipped cream, and then you roll it so you get that swirl in the middle, and then you cut it into slices. That's what they brought me, and I was so embarrassed.
What?
I
That sounds
wa
amazing though. Now, but I can see
It
why you
does.
were embarrassed as a
Yeah.
kid.
Because I wanted to fit in. All I wanted to do was fit in as a kid, and
Yeah.
God, I mean, can I stick out more now?
I know. Oh my
I
gosh.
I don't remember if people ate it or not, honestly, but I remember just being embarrassed,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I'm embarrassed to say that, to admit that, because my parents tried so hard, and here I am like,
And do you
and
think
shame on
that the
me.
kids noticed? Like, that it wasn't a cupcake or like a cake?
I think they did, or maybe
Mm.
it's just me internalizing it, like, like, the way I viewed the classroom, because I knew it wasn't, and so I was
Mhm.
embarrassed, so I
Yeah,
thought that they
totally.
were. So I think in my memory bank, they did notice, and
Mhm.
we didn't have a candle. Of course, you would never use a candle in school nowadays because that is a fire hazard, but we did back then because it's the 1980s. But we didn't have a candle, so my 1st grade teacher, I remember her, Miss Auslander, I loved her. She took the pink ribbon from the box and she folded it up and pretended it was a birthday candle, and we sang happy birthday. But I
Aw.
remember that's something that's been stuck out in my mind for recently in my head, of how hard my parents tried and how I still feel like I never fit in. And I hate that. I hate that I had that memory of being embarrassed, but I was.
Mhm.
And mom and dad, you're listening. I appreciate you. Thank you. But I that was it was they're trying they my parents tried so hard to help us fit in, but at the same time, we kinda stuck out a little bit.
Yeah, I understandably. That's just gonna happen, that's inevitable.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, but I didn't understand that as a kid
Mhm.
because I was a
No.
kid.
No, of course not, yeah. No, and what was your dad doing at that time
My
for work?
dad my dad, has a degree in fashion, so he went to FIT, and when he came from China when he was in his 30s. My mom came over when she was much younger. She was about 7 years old when she came over, so she grew up in New York. My dad came over when he was in his 30s, so when he went from China to Hong Kong, because Hong Kong was always a stop off before coming to America. He stayed in Hong Kong for a while and he worked in clothing factories. So he learned to be a pattern maker. So when he came to America, he started working in sweatshops to save up money, and eventually he put himself through FIT because he was like, well, I know fashion, that's what I can do. So he worked in fashion. That's what
Mhm.
he did. So he
Okay.
made clothes for like places like Macy's, Woolworth. I think he had worked for Calvin Klein. He also had clients like Vera Wang and stuff like that. So he kind of made the whole gamut of clothes. Um, so that's what
That's
my dad
great.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some getting to know you nuggets, okay? Quick questions.
Mhm.
Favorite childhood food or snack?
Okay, so Oreo cookies were still are one of my most favorite snacks. Oh, and Cheez-Its. I love Cheez-Its. It's horrible, but yeah, I love
The
fake
spicy
Cheez-Its. It's
ones are
terrible.
so good. Oh my
Yes,
god.
they are, and goldfish crackers, of course. But,
Yeah.
my traditional Chinese, dessert that I would love that my dad always got me on the weekends was called, a chicken tail bun. I don't know why it was called a chicken tail bun, but it's translated into that. It's translated from gai mi bao, which means literally chicken tail bun, but it's like this oblong sweet bun, and it is filled with coconuts, nuts, and sugar. It is
Wow.
delicious, and it's like this spongy, like, this soft, pillowy bread that encases this deliciousness inside, but that's what I loved when I was a kid.
Of course, a kid would love
Yeah,
that.
right? As an adult, I still love it.
All right, what about a quirky habit or nickname that sticks with you? That's funny.
So, if you ever hear me with my siblings, they don't call me by my name, Diana. They call me by their nickname for me, which is ID.
Hmm.
So, in Chinese culture, it's very hierarchical, first of all. So, we call each other by a title. So, there's always brother and sister, but if there's multiple, you have older brother, oldest brother, younger brother, baby brother, and so on and so forth. Same thing for girls. So, I'm the oldest sister. So I means oldest and D means sister. So ID.
Hmm.
You turn that into phonetics in the alphabet. It's the letters I and the letter D. Like id, basically. So even to this day, when I sign my name on a birthday card, it's ID. It's not
Wow.
my actual name. And all of us, we all have nicknames. We do not use our actual given
Oh,
on
I
our
love that.
birth certificate names, but all 4 of us have our nicknames.
That's awesome. My husband's culture is similar to that. They don't really call each
Mhm.
other by their first names. They
Yeah,
have,
so
like, cultural names they call each other.
yep,
Same thing,
yep.
like little sister, big brother. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So you totally get it. You totally where I'm coming. So does he
Yeah.
still go by that, or do they still
Oh,
call
yeah.
or do in his family, they call him by his actual given name?
No, no, nobody calls them by their like, he calls his sister one thing, his mom and dad call him one thing, his
Mhm.
sister calls him a different thing.
Yep.
It
That's
all's
what it
like
is.
it's formed by the culture.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So,
Yeah.
yeah, mine is literally the letters I and D when I because we changed it to American because we're
That's
Americanized that way.
yeah. Yep. So what is one of your favorite neighborhood memories or, like, spots to hang out in New York City?
I my favorite my favorite thing growing up was the Cranberry Street Fair. So I lived in a neighborhood where all the streets are named after fruits. So there's like Pineapple Street, Cranberry Street, Orange Street. Yeah, it's really cute. It's really cute. And so there's the Cranberry Street Fair every fall. And of course, it's cranberry themed, right? Everything is cranberry themed. So they had like games and contests and races. And I always had so much fun. And like everyone came out, you sold like, it was like an open garage sale type of thing. And I remember finding like the best toys and everything. It was so much fun. And actually, the Cranberry Street Fair was where I won my first bake off contest.
Oh, cool. What'd you bake? What'd you make?
I made, cranberry walnut chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, that sounds
So,
amazing.
it was so good, and so my aunt and my Aunt Jean, I idolized her as a little girl because she was older than me, she was in college, super sophisticated, super smart, but she always made time to bake with me when she came home on college breaks. And so she came home for this break and we made these cookies. I was so proud of them. And I I think I had a doctor's appointment that day, like a checkup, the day of the fair, and so she entered them into the contest for me, and I won, and she brought home, like, a little baggie of gifts and a little ribbon for me, and I was just so proud, I was so happy, so the Cranberry Street Fair was my one of my most favorite childhood memories.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what do you think, like, what traditions or values shaped your childhood that still influence you today, especially as a mother?
Oh boy, that's a hard one because when I was growing up, I very much try to distance myself from the Chinese culture.
Mm.
And because I wanted to be American. I wanted to be anything but me. And I'm sad that I say that. I'm ashamed to say that, but it's the honest truth.
I feel like it's probably common though, you know?
I would think so.
Yeah.
So now I'm kind of relearning things. Our household is very, very, very Americanized. So, but I do have a lot of memories that I'm trying to incorporate, and I'm still working on that because my daughter is so young. But I remember going to temple in Chinatown for the high holidays, and I remember going in and going up the stairs and it's crowded because it's a high holiday. So everyone in Chinatown is there. And we didn't have that many Buddhist temples out there. But when you walk in, there are these giant, like larger than life floor to ceiling statues of these Buddhist deities who we worshiped. And it's filled with incense and gorgeous cascading flowers and um water features and all those things. And everyone is just there and mixing and mingling together. And you had everyone from every socioeconomic ladder there. So anyone from the super wealthy who's Chinese and believe, and anyone who is, not as well off. But I remember that there was always honesty there. Like, so one of the things that you do is you bring in an offering to temple. And what you do is you put it in front of these statues and you say your prayers and your thanks and you light the incense. And the idea is like you're sharing your bounty with these deities. And then you of course you get to bring it home and consume it later. And it's supposed to be like lucky, blessed food type of thing. And people would bring in like insane things like not just fruits and oranges, but very elaborate desserts and food and candy and things like that. And no matter what, I've never ever heard anyone complain, "Oh, someone took this."
Hmm.
Because you didn't put your name on it. You just put it on a plate, you put it over there, and it is all based on honesty. And I remember thinking, "Wow, there's a certain sacred ground, certain things you just don't mess with. You
Mhm.
do not lie in temple. You do not do anything dishonest here."
Yeah, you go straight to hell, right? I don't know
Yeah,
if they
right,
have
because
hell,
they
but
know. They know you did it in their house. How dare
oh,
you?
yeah.
But I remember going, "Wow, everyone here respects everyone," and that really made an impression on me because it made me realize that there are places where you just put aside everything, and there's something bigger out there that we all believe together, and that's actually a really beautiful thing because no matter where you come from, no matter what you're going through, we are all in this together, and I
Mhm,
always love that.
mhm.
Chinese New Year is a really big one. It's like Western Christmas. So for my daughter, I plan on making it a big holiday. She will miss school for
Now
Chinese New
what
Year.
day is that?
It
Chinese
depends.
New Year?
It
Oh,
depends. It ebbs and flows every year. It's
oh,
based on the lunar calendar. So it
okay.
can be as early as January and also as late as March. So it's kind of
Oh.
fluid. So every day is a little different. Every year is a little bit different. And I honestly don't know what the days are. I have to ask my mom because she
She
knows how
tracks
to
it.
read it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to read it. So
Mhm.
I always wanted to miss school. If it wasn't on a weekend, we don't get that day off. My parents still sent me to school. My daughter's missing school. I've already decided that. It's gonna be a day of fun.
I bet
Um,
you weren't allowed to miss school unless you were, like, bleeding or broken bone or something.
yeah, pretty much. I remember the only reason why I missed, like, a long stretch of school is because I had chicken pox, and I was not allowed to come back.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, they had to ban me before my parents said, "Okay, you can stay home."
I could see that.
Oh, something else that I do now is I call close friends aunties and uncles. So I always did that. So when I was growing up, I didn't know who was actually aunt and uncle, like who I'm biologically related to, because it felt like in Chinatown, everyone knew my grandmothers. So it felt like everyone was an aunt and uncle. I just
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
realize that they were actually just family friends. So I didn't understand that when I was young. But now for my daughter, I do refer to like you, Tessie, as Aunt Tessie. And, so I do take that with me. I do take that with me.
Yeah, this is, like, fascinating. There's so many, like, similarities between you and my husband, which I didn't
Yeah,
realize. But,
yeah.
one thing that he gets all the time is, like well, I get it too, like, "Where are you from? Where are you from?" Like,
Yes.
"Where is your husband from?" And I'm like, "I mean, from America." Like, he grew up here, like, did people assume that same about you?
All the time, even to this day. They like to go, "Where are you from?" And I say, "New York City." "No, but where are you really from?"
Yeah.
I'm really from New York City." And then they have to stop and regroup and go, "Okay, but where's your family from?" I'm like, "New
Yeah.
York City." "But if you mean where were my parents born?" "They were born in China." And then they go, "Yeah,
Mhm.
that's it. That's what I mean." Does your husband get that a lot?
All the time. I even get it too, like, "Where's your husband from?" And then I'm like, "Oh, he's from Southern California," It's like, "No, but, like, where
Yeah.
are they from?" And I'm like it
I
never happens to me, like, I'm like this German Italian. Nobody ever asked me that question, ever.
No one asked my husband that question either.
No.
My
I
husband
mean
is from the South. I mean, I don't think they even know when they came over. I'm pretty sure his family came over on the Mayflower type of scenario. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
See, like, I'm not even that far. My ancestors came, like, only before my parents, and or
Okay.
before my grandparents, so it's not like my family's even that old.
So you're what, 3rd generation?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
you're not that far removed,
No.
but no one asked you that question.
No one
You know
asked
what?
me.
You know what I also get a lot? "Oh, you talk really good." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Like my primary language."
You don't even have an accent.
They're
Go
like,
figure.
yeah, they're like, "Where are you from? Idaho?" It's so funny. If people talk to me on the phone, and this happened for the longest time, now it's not so much, but, when I was younger, people would talk to me on the phone, and you can't I try to really diminish my New York accent. I do have words, but I really try hard not to
That's
let it
funny.
slip out, and they go, "Oh, where are you from? Idaho?" And I'm like, "No, I'm from New York." And then they see me and they're like, "Huh? What? You're Asian. I didn't get that. What's going on?"
That's so funny. They didn't see that coming.
No, they did not. They did not.
So, like, being the first generation basically here in America, were you very like, are your parents very focused on, like, education, school from an early age?
Mhm. It was understood that I had 3 options in life: lawyer, doctor, engineer.
Oh my god,
Anything
this
else,
is my parents' family too.
those were the 3 accepted professions.
That's
Anything else was
hilarious.
considered non-existent or lesser than.
Oh,
Of
this is
course.
why they don't like me. That's hilarious.
But so, of course, I chose doctor. Everything was about our education. My family to this day, and I mean, I still do for my daughter. Education is primary; it's first, and I'm very fortunate that my parents gave me the best when it came to our education. It was everything went into it. I even went to summer school. And I got straight A's. I went to Chinese summer school. So we
Wow.
moved to Staten Island, and there's no summer school, basically, academic summer school. So they found a program in Queens, and every morning at 6 a.m., a bus came and picked up me and my 2 siblings, and we were the first to be picked up and the last to be dropped off. So basically, we sat in this bus 2 hours there, 2 hours back. And the school was only about 3 hours long. It was like from 9 to 12, but because we were the first ones to get on the bus and the last ones to get off
Ah,
the bus, our days were 12 hours long.
Did
And
your parents plan that as, like, free childcare at the time or something?
no, they paid a lot of money for it, a
Oh,
lot of money for all of
that's
it, but
awful.
it was for SAT prep. SAT prep, okay? And do you know how old I was?
Wow. 7.
No, I was in 6th or 7th grade.
Oh
So I
my
was like
gosh.
yeah, I was in middle school. So everything went into that, and then they enrolled me in do you know the program Kumon?
Mm-mm.
Kumon, Kumon. So, later on, they found this other Chinese lady in Staten Island who opened up her home, and she did the Kumon program. The idea is to strengthen the weakened areas of your academics and to help you excel beyond. And their protocol is repetition and speed. So they want accuracy and they want speed. So every single week, I had extra homework to do. Every single day for the week, I had to take out these worksheets. And for me, my weakness was math, especially fractions at the time. And I had to do these little booklets of math, and I had to time myself. And at the end of the week, I would turn them in to the teacher and she would mark them, and I had to meet a certain minimum standard. And if I didn't meet the minimum, I had to do it again the next week. And of course,
Wow.
the next week I got better at it because guess what? I didn't learn anything. I just memorized the answer. So,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's smart.
right?
Are you
I just
still really
memorized
good at math?
you know what? It did help me because I did get better at math and I did become more
Yeah.
confident. So I am glad that my parents did that for me, but believe me, I hated it.
Mhm. Oh, I know.
I stayed there until I went to into pre-calculus, but my siblings stayed forever. I think they went through calculus with that program,
Wow.
like, before they got into high school. I'm like, "What the what?" So, yes, everything was about education and getting us the
Yeah.
next best thing for education. So, yeah.
So how did that like, obviously, that was a family value around success. Like, how did that influence your drive individually?
Um, it made me very driven. I was very result oriented. I still am a very result oriented person.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good thing and bad thing because it made me really dedicated to what I do. I'm incredibly focused. I'm like, I guess, a pit bull. I see something, yeah, I'm gonna get it. It's gonna happen. But I'm very linear, unfortunately. I never learned how to pivot because of those programs. It was just repetition all the time, the same thing over and over and over again. You couldn't get the answer in a different way from what they stated it to be. And so as a result of that, I'm not really one that pivots really well. I like things planned. So I
Mhm.
think that's how it's affected,
You're
it's
such a
influenced
good
me.
planner. You're so good at planning.
Thank you.
We're so
And
opposite, I feel like that.
but no, we're great because I don't do well when it doesn't come to fruition, and you're like, "No, don't worry, we got this. Come on,
Yeah.
let's just go." And I'm like, "Okay, this is part of the plan. This is Tessie's plan now. I can do this."
I love that. Yeah. So, like, moving on to, like, adult life,
Mhm.
people might see you as privileged, you're a stay-at-home mom, doctor, husband. What's the story behind that, though? Because, like, it's never what people see from the outside, never.
I think that all stay-at-home moms have a quote unquote reputation, no matter where you come from, no matter what your financial status is. And it is a form of privilege. And I'm gonna say this. This is my story. This is for me. So I'm gonna say this. I am a privileged woman. Yes, I am a privileged woman. Not because I married a doctor or anything like that, but I'm privileged because I worked, I fought, I scraped, and I dreamed for everything that I have now. And I know you feel the same way.
Mhm,
I didn't marry a doctor. I married a man who happened to go into the healthcare profession.
mhm.
That's how I
Yeah,
see it. That's
yeah.
how I see it. He wasn't a doctor when I met him. We were students with nothing to our name except exponential student debt, and which we still have. We still have a ridiculous amount of student debt, but
That happens. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So while he was still in school, I kept us afloat. I worked when I could, and I traveled wherever he went so we could stay together. I actually we were so poor that I actually learned to bake bread because I couldn't afford a loaf of bread at the supermarket.
That is awesome. Now I bake bread because I think it's healthier, but I do wonder, is it cheaper? Because I've never done the calculations.
It is. It is,
But
especially
good
what
to
how much
know.
is 'cause I broke it down. I'm like, "Okay, so I'm again, one of those people. Hey, I went to Kumon for math, so I can do math really well now, right?"
Yeah.
I went to I went to Queens for math in the
12
summertime.
hours a day.
I know, right? I can count. So, yes, I did do the math, and when I broke it down at the time, it was like $1.98 per loaf as
Wow.
opposed to I think it was like 3.50, and I was like,
Yeah.
I can save that money, I can save that money for bread." And so I learned how to bake bread. Oh, we lived in New York City. Um we I was working dermatology then, and I loved my job, loved it. But we were living in the not greatest places. We lived in Harlem, and it was a trip. I did I don't know how we did this, but after we paid our monthly bills, our utilities, our student loans, our rent, do you know how much we had at the end of the month? We have $40,
Oh my gosh.
$40, and that is for 2 adults in New York City for food, transportation, and entertainment.
My gosh. There's no entertainment happening there.
There is no entertainment. No, but you know what? You're in New York, so it doesn't matter. You walk outside and you're
Oh,
entertained.
that's true.
So, it doesn't really
That's
matter. I don't
yeah,
need
it's
to
free.
go to a show, it's all
Uh-huh.
in front of you.
There
So,
you
that's
go.
a good
All the
thing.
tourists, all the people watching, I bet was fun.
So fun. But that's actually what we did on the weekends. We didn't go anywhere. We stayed in Manhattan, and instead of, spending I forget how much a train was, we walked. We walked so much. We were super fit. We didn't need a gym
Yes.
membership, but we would
Oh,
walk, like, on the
yes.
weekends, we would walk, like, 10 to 12 miles a day. But we were I mean, I think I joke around that we were just getting ready for our future life of hiking in Arizona.
Which you did a lot of.
Oh, yes, I did. But, I mean, I never took a government handout. Yes, our parents did help us here and there when they could,
Mhm.
but we had $40 and we never ate out even though I was in New York City and in the center of the most amazing food in the world. I cooked. I cooked and baked bread.
Yeah, I love that.
I so yes, I am a privileged woman because I worked for it, and I'm also a privileged woman because I failed a lot. I failed a lot, and I'm going to be honest. I know your husband knows this because he invited me to give a talk to some of his students a little while ago, but I don't know if he told you about it. But this is the reason, I never became a doctor, and it took me a long time to be okay with saying this. But I failed. I failed my USMLEs, which is a US medical licensing exam, and I was a great student. I had excellent grades. I knew my stuff inside and out. My and that's been my entire life. But I am a horrible test taker, horrible test taker.
Yeah, and I've heard that test is hard. A
It
lot
is
of people
hard.
fail it.
It is hard. It is hard.
Yeah.
And even though I studied really hard, I failed. Not I and I didn't just fail once. I failed 3 times.
Oh,
And
man.
not just by like it wasn't like a lot. It was
Yeah,
literally every single time I failed was by 1 point.
that's so frustrating. Oh my
It
god.
broke my heart. It broke my heart. But I that was the first time I ever failed in my life because everything always worked out. I studied hard, I got through it, no problem, but because of that, I had to reassess everything. I had to get back up, which was really hard. I had to figure out who I really am and whether I really wanted this medical degree. and I finally learned to live my dreams, not my parents' dreams, not what other people thought of me, but really just for me, what did I want? Where is my passion?
Mhm.
And that's why I can count myself lucky that I am privileged because I failed and I learned to get back up. And I learned a lot about myself and those around me at the time. The people who are still around me today stood by me. And those who didn't, they didn't.
Mhm.
But that's when someone says I'm privileged. Yes, I am privileged. And I'm proud to say I'm privileged. But I worked for that.
Yeah, you did. And what about, like, your upbringing? Is there anything, like, unexpectedly that helped you navigate through that or through motherhood or resilience, or how do you feel like that ties in?
I a lot of resilience,
Mhm.
dedication, because when you come from an immigrant family, you don't have a lot of resources. So you work with what you have.
Mhm.
And when you have $40 for the month in New York City, you have to be creative.
I know what that's like.
A can of beans does so much.
Oh
It's
my gosh, I
amazing.
love beans to this day. I've lived on beans too. It's so funny too, like, I think about back in the day when I used to make a lot of things, and I don't
Mhm.
make as much as I used to anymore, but I had to. I feel
Yeah.
like you had similar situation.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what my husband doesn't like anymore? Peanut butter. He ate so many peanut butter sandwiches in college that he can't even look at peanut butter to this
Oh my
day.
god, I could totally relate to that. Oh,
I
oh.
totally get it. I totally get it.
Yes.
But yes, I think resilience, dedication, hard work, and the main thing, and I'm still coming to terms with this, was that everything something mainstream may not be the right path for you. I
Mhm.
was all about like growing up, I was all about trying to fit in everything mainstream, but it didn't fit into my family dynamic because obviously my parents and my family is very traditional. And now that I'm older, I'm realizing things that are on TikTok, they don't work for me in real life.
No.
And that's okay. That's okay. I can do me and that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's so funny because 'cause I'm, like, complete opposite, like, rebel from the
Yes.
beginning.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, and I when I look back, when I look at all the rebels, I admired them, that they had that swagger, that confidence. I didn't have that swagger or that confidence because I just wanted to blend in.
Mhm.
I didn't wanna stick out. We're
Do
so
you feel
different.
like motherhood has changed you in that? That you have a little more of the rebel in you and
Oh, yeah.
more confidence?
Oh, yeah, because I don't think I care as much, or I don't have
Yeah.
the bandwidth to care anymore. I'm just like, "I'm gonna
Yeah.
do me, and that's it. This works for us. If you don't like it, that's cool. You do you." I respect
Mhm.
that. So, yeah,
Mhm.
motherhood has definitely changed me, and motherhood growing up the way I did, not having all my resources has definitely helped me with toddlerhood because I definitely don't have all the resources every day to because I never know what's coming from her. She's a curveball. So I've learned to adapt. I've learned to adapt. Like I remember when she was a little baby, I forgot to order wipes and I'm home alone and she pooped. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So I stopped and I thought, what did mom do? Because we didn't
Mhm.
have wipes because wipes were
Yeah.
expensive.
Mhm.
Literally, my mom took a rag, wiped us off, and then washed us in the sink, and so that's what I did. So that's what I did. I wiped her down, I gave her bottom a little rinse off in the sink, and then I got onto Amazon and ordered the wipes.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, what surprised you most about, like, motherhood and, maybe even being a stay-at-home mom, that the fact that you are one? Did you ever imagine that?
No. No, no, no. I thought I would be that mom that pops out a kid and then, like, drops her off at daycare, and that's it.
Mhm.
And pick
Mhm.
him up at the end and then go home. I thought I would have a live-in nanny probably for all I know. I don't know what I was
Yeah.
really thinking.
Au pair.
An au pair, yes, an
Sounds
au
fancy.
pair. No, I'm too basic for that. I'm not fancy enough for that. Um, So this is definitely not where I thought my life would be, but I love it. I don't wanna be anywhere else. It's
Yeah.
hard. It is hard. There are days that I just wanna talk to another grown up, but I if you talk to 18-year-old me, I think she would choke on her water and go, "What are you saying? What are you doing?" But this is where I am, and I love being a stay-at-home mom. I love being a mom in general. It's
It's
awesome.
the
It's amazing.
best. It's the
I
best
didn't
job ever.
it really is, and I didn't think I would like to be a parent. I didn't think I would enjoy it. It was one of
Mhm.
those things where I thought I had to do it because it was expected. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was me, and now I'm wiser.
So how does your cultural background influence the way that you do parent? Like what traditions, practices, what did you take from your childhood and what did you reject?
I actually embrace a lot more than I thought I would,
Oh,
honestly.
cool. Yeah.
I grew up with a lot of Chinese foods and things like that because my parents couldn't afford a lot of baby food and stuff like that. I remember them making baby food from scratch, and I remember thinking, "Oh, I'm just gonna buy it, whatever."
I'm gonna be
And
fancy.
I'm gonna get the ones from the jars, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to spend time in the kitchen. Oh my gosh, I made baby food left and right because I could. I had the time. I was mom. I had help. I could make the
And it's
baby food.
fresher. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And the health benefits of it all.
Mhm.
So one of the things that our traditional Chinese baby eats is something called juk or congee. It's a rice porridge. It's a little bit of rice, a lot of water, and it makes the rice kind of like fall apart. And then moms usually put some sort of broth or meat or veggies and just to get the flavoring in. And then they fish it all out, any extra particles so the baby doesn't choke. And then that's what the baby eats. So they kind of get basically what the parent is eating, only in a watered down version with a
Mhm.
little bit of substance to it. And I remember going, "I'm not doing that." I totally did that. I totally made her congee on a regular basis, that little rice porridge with, my mom got me bone broth. She got me bone My mom made bone broth, and she gave it to me. So if I didn't have it from her, I bought it. I didn't make my own bone broth because I'm lazy. But, yeah, I
Yeah,
totally did
that's a
that.
lot
So
of work.
it is a lot of work, and I'm lazy. So I actually take a lot more from my parents than I thought I would, which I find that really
Interesting.
surprising. I'm really glad I do. I'm really glad I
Yeah.
do.
So, like, how has being the first among your siblings, like, you made unconventional choices, how has that shaped how you guide your daughter and how you raise her?
I am trying to I am in the early phases, but I'm trying to teach her to do her. That I'm trying to respect her as a person, that I know that she can have her own opinions, her own thoughts, but I will, as a mother, give her my 2 cents and let her decide. Now, of course, we are in very limited quantities of that because she is a toddler and her judgment is not always right. Like, "Mom, I wanna jump off the dining room table," is a hardcore no for me. But I did make very unconventional choices, especially with who I married. I married someone not from my culture. I
Mhm,
married the all-American white boy from the South.
mhm.
I wasn't the first one in my family, though. My aunt was. My aunt
Oh,
was. I was the second, but I was the first amongst my siblings to do it. And I hope that when she's at that point, that whoever she chooses, if that person loves her and cares for her as much as my now husband does for me, that I would be okay with it. At least I hope so.
yeah. How do you and your husband merge your cultures? Like Southern white culture, Chinese, first generation, like, how does that does that, like, cause conflict ever, like, in how you're raising the baby, or how do you, like, merge that?
So fortunately, we haven't had much conflict with that. Um, Holidays are very different. So of course we have the big Southern, Christmases with my in-laws and my husband's family, and honestly, my parents enjoy that too, but we divide it very well. So, Thanksgiving is for my parents,
Mhm.
and Christmas is for my in-laws.
Mm, that
And we
makes
can
sense.
all get together. It's always understood. We can always get together. We don't have to have them separated, but we have yet to do that because I think it's just a lot of logistics. So we haven't done that yet. A lot of traditional Chinese holidays are actually when there are no holidays in Western culture. So it works out really well. Like, that midwinter blues that we get after Christmas, we have Chinese New Year then. So
Mhm.
it's kinda cool. Um, Mid-Autumn Festival is also one of my favorites with, moon cakes and all that stuff, and that's, like, right at the fall. It's like it can again, it varies, but it's usually, like, right after Labor Day and kind of right before, Halloween. So, it kind of falls in between. So everything's really worked out. We oh, this year, we had the Christmas tree up for a long time because I was just too lazy to move it out of the living room, so I put little Chinese decorations on it for Chinese New Year. I also did it for, Valentine's Day, I put little hearts on it. So,
That's
we
awesome.
we make it work. So a lot of Chinese foods. I'm not a great Chinese cook, so I do what I can, but my husband eats anything because he understands that you eat what I make you or you can fend for yourself. So he eats what I make him. So we're cool there. We're cool there. And I'm very
That's awesome.
evidence-based. So if there is not a lot of scientific evidence for something, I don't really push it.
Yeah,
Um, and that's where he comes from too, so we're aligned there. So far it's been okay. So far
that's
it's been
good.
okay. Yeah.
So what lessons from your upbringing, like, do you hope your daughter takes and carries forward?
Mm, I hope that she is resilient. I hope she is resourceful, and I hope that she surrounds herself with love.
Sounds like she's already resourceful with, like, getting the 2 chocolate chips versus the
Right?
1.
Right? I am so scared for me. I am so scared for me.
You got, like, the complete opposite. You got the rebel child. You are not gonna have to worry about her at all, don't worry.
Yes. I Oh, I have a little Tessie. Yes.
Yeah,
I
you can
love
just
it.
start free range parenting her, and it'll be fine. She'll turn out
I
fine.
love it. Well, I do have to work on my yard in the back, so I have to fence that in, so I'm gonna let her go.
There you go.
Oh, can I get some chickens to go out there with her too?
Heck yes. They
Yeah,
could be her
right?
pets.
Yay! Free range chicken, free range toddler. Yes, I love
There you
it.
go. They can just go together. I actually had a friend whose daughter had a pet chicken at she was like 2 or 3. She was very young, and she would carry this chicken around in the house, and she would, like, lock it in cabinets on accident because she was, like, 2. But my friend would, like, find this chicken locked in the cabinet.
Was the chicken angry? I mean,
No, like, chickens get along, I guess. It, like, loved being her pet. It was so funny. It was
I've only
so
had
funny.
I've only had bad experiences with chickens where they literally
Yeah.
chase me.
No, when I went to visit, they, like, tried to peck me to death, but it let this 2-year-old, like, carry it around the house and put it and lock it in cabinets and play with it, and fascinating.
That's amazing. It's
She
like
was definitely a country girl.
I feel like that should be an episode of National Geographic.
I know, right?
That is amazing.
Yeah, so, like, what would you tell your younger self, like, one thing about identity, resilience, or motherhood? What would that be?
Be more like your mother. I tried so hard when I was a kid to not be my mother,
Mm.
and I became my father. And I love my dad, and it has great, great attributes, but
Yeah.
honestly, be more like mom because your life will
Mhm.
be so much happier. Mom is all about
Aw.
love. Mom is all
Mhm.
about acceptance. Mom is all about giving
Yeah.
and not expecting anything back because she does it out of pure love.
Mhm.
And her life is so much happier. So be more like mom is what I would tell younger me.
Oh, I love that.
I
All
would tell
right.
my daughter, "Be more like your grandmother. Don't be your mother."
Oh my god, I tell my kids that all the time.
Do
Don't
you?
be
Don't
Yes,
be
because
mommy.
they pick up my traits. They're with me all the time, and then I, like, recognize them picking up my traits that and they're not, like, my best attributes, and I'm like, "Don't be like me."
Why can't they just pick the good ones? I mean,
I know, they never pick the good ones, like, "Why are you saying" Okay, don't. Just don't go there.
I know, right?
I
Same.
always tell them, "Be more like your father. He's, like, the sweet one, the
Yes.
gentle one."
Mhm. Be more like it same. She could be either my husband or her grandmother. That's
Yeah,
good.
exactly. So, what do you most want listeners to take away from this, from your story, from, first generation experiences, privilege, parenting?
I hope that they take away that first generation kids, they come with a lot of lessons from life, and we carry those with us. A lot of resilience, creativity,
Yeah,
and drive. The drive to make the most out of every opportunity. Um, and that most of all, that privilege from the outside can look one way, but it comes with a background of struggles, failures, and really hard choices. Um, and then when it comes to parenting, I think that you do you. You know, that's our theme in for our show is you do you. You can honor your heritage, you can pick and choose what you want, and you can follow your own path and still have kids who feel supported and loved and feel free to make their own choices, and you can still include your parent in it too. It's just on your terms. It doesn't have to be exactly their way or not their way, but it's your way because you are the parent. You know, life is messy and sometimes hilarious, but if you show up with love and curiosity and courage, that's what really counts. At least I'm
yeah.
trying to remember that for myself, and I hope listeners take that away too.
Yeah, I love that. This was such a fun episode.
Oh, thank
Thank you for
you.
actually being vulnerable and opening up, and I feel like I learned a lot about my husband through your story. You guys
You
are
know,
very similar.
us first generation kids, you know, we connect. I honestly, I
Yeah.
think that's why he and I get along so well too.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding. Wow, what a journey from navigating life as a first gen kid in New York City to building a career to embracing motherhood in ways that you never imagined. Diana has shown us what resilience, humor, and love look like in action. And we hope that hearing her story reminds you that privilege is often layered with struggle, that culture shapes our parenting in beautiful ways, and that every mother's path is uniquely hers. So, thank you for joining us today. We're so glad you were here. Until next time, keep embracing the messy, beautiful, unpredictable journey of motherhood. And remember, we're all learning as we go. Thanks, Diana.
Thank you, Tessie. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.